Hey, it's Medium Jenny Lee. I am here to give a little introduction to the video that you are about to listen to. It was recorded on August 16th of 2025. So if you're listening to this around that time, know that the information is relevant to that time period. But if you are listening to this at some other time in the future, know that you're probably listening to it for a reason, and it still is valid and important information. The information comes from a personal reading. I have been given permission by the sitter to share this information publicly. The Pleiadians have come through to give information to the sitter. Now, these Pleiadians are not what the general woo-woo public knows about Pleiadians. My understanding is that there are multiple types of persons from the area of which we call the Pleiades from our perspective. So these are not the type that look like humans but are taller. These actually are more like tall whites. And if you're not familiar with what those are, think of the typical gray alien, but they're much taller and their skin is whitish instead of grayish. Now, these Pleiadians, I can give you a little information about what they look like when I interact with them. They are much taller than us. They have very thin necks. They have pretty large heads that are bald and look like a typical gray alien head, but their eyes are a little smaller. Their skin comes in iridescent colors. Their fingers, I believe, they only have 3 fingers and a thumb, and the ends of their fingers are bulbous, almost like what would kind of look like a suction cup, but they're not sticky to my knowledge. And they come through and have been coming through for years for this particular sitter. So in this message that you're about to listen to, that is who is speaking, is these particular Pleiadians, and the information that they are about to share has to do with what's happening in our world at the current time around August 16th of 2025 and directly relates to the shift. So enjoy this message from our friends, the Pleiadians.
Lately, I've been finding it hard to meditate and get into a state of peace and calm. Is there anything that I feel that it's more widespread versus just personal? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. What you all are feeling is, yes, not just individual issues with this. It is for those of you that are more open, which in your community is almost all. There is an overwhelming, looking for the correct word, maybe a description of a visual image would be the best way to explain, for the words are not accurate. Imagine, this would be a good example. On your planet, many places over the last months have experienced excessive rainfall that resulted in flooding. Imagine one of those floods as the water has rushed in and swept up all the things in its path, no matter the size or shape, whether it was living or inanimate, no matter how small or heavy. Imagine all of those things are swept up into this water, and as the water begins to settle but has not receded, it is rather a disgusting mess of things and stuff and mud and objects and plants and trees and even things that once were living and they're no longer. It's all swirling in the eddies of this flood water. And there's no up or down, there's no left or right, there's no rhyme or reason, there's just this awful mess. That is an analogy to the energy of your planet at this moment. We hate to say it's a goopy, mixed up mess of things and stuff and muck. So those of you that are attempting to be quiet in your minds, but you are open to the energies, feel yourself being sucked into the vortex of the flood waters of emotions and energy. And instead of finding peace and quiet, you are finding more to make yourselves feel stressed and uncomfortable. We have some advice for you and anyone else that you like to share this with, and we recommend sharing it with your community when you are wishing to be in meditation the way that you are used to, when you can clear your mind, when you can feel connected with divine, when you can feel a sense of peace and ease, and you are wanting to listen for important messages. You need to know that the floodwaters are around you, and then you can go about segregating yourself from that energy before you step into your meditative state. This can be done in any number of ways. There's no right or wrong. It can be as simple as an intention. As I go into this meditation, I am asking to not pick up on all the energies of this earth at this time. Instead, I am setting the intention to have a sense of peace and calm, or I am setting the intention to connect with divine. And if it is helpful, or you are someone who requires visualization, you can imagine yourself in any number of ways being separated from the floodwaters. Perhaps you are inside of a barrier of some sort, and it is clear above you so that you can connect, or perhaps you want to close the top if you are not wanting to connect with divine in that moment. You just need it to be quiet. You can separate yourself into this space where you can be in your meditative mind, your mindfulness state, but it will be necessary to be sure to set the intention to not pick up on all of the other things, because it is flooding around everyone and it's causing chaos, particularly for those who sense it. And we wish it was different. But as you are well aware, it requires destruction to begin something new.